So here are the longest, shortest, and widest rivers in the world. In this video, we'll be looking at some amazing rivers and uncover the most special ones. Let's start with the longest rivers. What is the longest river? That might be one of the most discussed questions in the world of geography. Through the years, multiple rivers have come to the throne of longest. The Nile in Egypt, the Amazon in Brazil, the Yangtze in China, maybe the Mississippi in the United States. It's been a debate for years and probably will be for some time in the future. And honestly, after years of discussion, the answer to that question is still not definitive. We know one thing for sure: the Mississippi isn't. The Mississippi is a river in the United States with a length of 6,270 kilometers, but even when it was previously discussed to be the longest in the world, it isn't even the longest in the country itself. This is the Missouri River. The Missouri River begins high in the mountains of Montana and flows through 4 other states before reaching St. Louis. The Missouri River has historically acted as a transportation and trade hub for the United States Great Plains. Once the river reaches St. Louis, it joins the Mississippi and ultimately flows into the Gulf of Mexico, becoming the world's 4th largest river system, and at the same time kicking the rumors of its concurrent Mississippi aside. The 3rd longest river in the world is situated in the heart of China, the beautiful Yangtze River, with a length of 6,300 kilometers and just behind the 2 longest rivers. Now here's where the discussion begins. For years, the Nile was believed to be the longest river in the world, but recently many people have switched sides to this river, the Amazon. It is also the world's largest river, both in terms of volume and discharge. The Amazon is so enormous that 2 of the next greatest rivers by volume are tributaries to it. The river flows through 3 nations in South America: Brazil, Peru, and Colombia, before emptying into the Atlantic Ocean. The Amazon rainforest, which surrounds the river, is well known for its rich biodiversity. And if it's not the longest, it's definitely the most beautiful river in the world. The other river, like discussed, is this one, the Nile. It's Egypt's true source of power, and at least 95% of the population lives within a few kilometers of this great river. It's the source of food, a good economy, and trading routes. In short, if you say Egypt, you say the Nile. Now, the odds for the longest river would probably go out to the Nile, but the Amazon is so hard to measure because of all its tributaries, leaving people with doubts, so I'll let you decide this time. Go to the comments and start the discussion.
Whoa. Here I come. Here I come.
Which river is the longest? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. When we think of the longest river in the world, we can't forget about the opposite, and so the next question's here. What is the shortest river in the world? How short could a river possibly be to still be counted as a river? 10 kilometers, maybe 20? Well, the answer may surprise you a bit, but a river could actually be 2 meters long to still be counted as a river. How? The reason that's probably surprising is because most of us think of a lake to be something round or square, or at least something with the same length-width ratio. A stream should be smaller than a river, and a river should be long and have a high length and low width ratio. Nothing is less true, however. They must have constant flowing water that comes from highland sources and ends up in seas, lakes, or marshes. Of the 10 shortest rivers, 5 are in Europe, 4 in the Americas, and 1 in Asia. Now that we know there's no actual limit on how short a river can be, I'd like to ask you to guess the length of the shortest river in the comments before we reveal it.
Whoa. Here I come.
The first river I want to talk about is the Roe River. The Roe is a small river in the state of Montana in the United States, with a length of 61 meters, and is even recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as the shortest river in the world. This river has been navigated by ships weighing up to 500 tons, which is truly incredible for such a small river. But would it surprise you if I said the Roe is only the 6th shortest river? The 5th shortest river is this one. The Yezernisa River is barely 55 meters long and flows from the Wild Lake. Water flow rates as high as 60 cubic meters per second have been measured here, which is incredibly fast. Moving on to Croatia for our 4th place, Ombla River. River Ombla in Croatia flows for 30 meters into the Bay Rijeka Dubrovaka on the Adriatic Sea. Moving on to our top 3, with 2 of them on the continent of Europe, and a 3rd place for the Norwegian Kovaselva River, which begins in Lake Kovasvatnet and ends at the Norwegian Sea, covering only 22 meters. Going to the other side of the world, we find an Indonesian river called Tambarasi. The river is found in southeast Sulawesi, Indonesia, and is 20 meters long, 15 meters wide, and flows into the Flora Sea in Bone Bay. Moving back to Europe, we've arrived at our number 1 and at the same time the last of longest rivers, the Reprua River at 18 meters long. Flowing in the country of Georgia, this European river is the shortest, but that's not all. It gets even more fascinating. It's also known as the deepest river in the world, and that number is even more stunning than the 18 meters, because this river has a depth of 2,300 meters, or 2.3 kilometers. Besides that, it also has a water flow rate of 2,000 liters per second, where it flows right into the Black Sea. That's what I call a number 1. Well guys, if you thought this was surprising, you're going to be stunned by the next category, the widest rivers in the world. And I'm serious about this one. There are rivers in this world that are unimaginably wide. The first we're going to talk about is the Missouri River. Like we previously discussed, this river has an incredible length and is even longer than its brother, the Mississippi. But that's not all. This river can get up to a stunning width of 39 kilometers, comparable to a country like Sao Tome and Principe, with a width of 36 kilometers. Just imagine how wide that is, and believe it or not, this is only the 3rd widest river in the world. The second one, just slightly wider at its widest point, is of African proud, the Congo River. This river can get up to 40 kilometers wide at its maximum stretch, just 1 kilometer above the third one, but still quite far from the first river on our list, the Amazon. There it is again, one of, if not the greatest, river in the world. This delta of river keeps surprising me over and over again. Besides its incredibly fascinating biodiversity, the beauty of it, and of course the length, it also comes on top of all other rivers in its width. Excluding its estuary, this river can get up to 48 kilometers wide. Again, a stunning number 1. Want to know what it is including its estuary? It's 325 kilometers. Can you believe that? This is even 25 kilometers more than the northernmost point to the southernmost point of the Netherlands. On to our last category, the weirdest rivers. Now for this one I didn't necessarily create a top list, but these are just some of the crazy and weird rivers out there. 1. The Rio River or Black River. Rio Negro is a river situated in South America. It is a distinctive river due to its peculiar hue, black. Rio Negro, sometimes known as the Black River, is the greatest left tributary of the world's largest river, Amazon. Rio Negro is also known as the world's largest blackwater river. Although it was dubbed Black River, its waters are not entirely black. It resembles the hue of strong tea. When seen from a distance, Rio Negro appears black. 2. The Puerto Princesa Subterranean River. The Puerto Princesa Subterranean River in Palawan, Philippines is one of the most odd and bizarre rivers in the world. It travels underground before emerging into the South China Sea. Furthermore, it is unusual in that it is the world's longest navigable underground river. There are 8 reptile species native to the area. 3. The Colorado River. The third and last river is one you'll probably recognize the second you see this picture. It's one of the most famous rivers in the United States. Arizona's Horseshoe Bend, a spectacular meander of the Colorado River near Page, Arizona in the United States, is known for its panoramic views. Horseshoe Bend is known as King Bend by locals. It can be seen from the rocky cliff above, and according to Google terrain maps, the viewpoint is 4,200 feet above sea level, while the Colorado River is 3,200 feet above sea level, resulting in a dramatic 1,000-foot plunge. Now, rivers are truly amazing, and their beauty and measures never fail to surprise me. So, which fact of this video stunned you the most? Was it the Reprua River at 18 meters long and 2,300 meters deep? The longest river still up for debate? Or the incredible width of the Amazon? Let me know what stunned you the most, and while you're on your way there, consider hitting that like and subscribe button to stay updated on more Earth Basics videos. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you in the next of Earth Basics.